What's going on, everyone? My name is Sherwin, and today we are in the Plaid Studios. This video is kind of like my final review for the Model X Plaid, 2023 Model X Plaid, ultra red with cream interior. This Plaid is going to be surrendered pretty soon, and it is going through a buyback. What that means is there's just so many problems with this car that Tesla decided to just buy it back from us. There are plenty of videos I have on this channel regarding the issues that I've had, not only with this Plaid, but our long-range 2022 Model X, which was also bought back. Now, the Model X comes with two different motor configurations. You have the dual motor and you have the tri-motor, which is the Plaid. The Model X comes with three seating configurations: 5-seater, 6-seater, and 7-seater. Both our Model X's, we opted to get the 6-seater. The Plaid just comes in a 6-seater. There's no other options. It has three interior colors. We have black, white, and cream. Both Model X, we ended up with cream. Abby doesn't really like the white one, and she doesn't really care for the black one. So cream is what she chose to get on both Model X's. The trim style, it comes in two. The non-Plaid will come in a walnut wood, and the Plaid comes like in a carbon fiber. All right, let us walk around this vehicle and just check it out for last time. You're gonna notice that it no longer has the matte PPF XPEL Stealth that we used to have. We got it removed because that's one of the things we had to do before surrendering the vehicle. But as you can see, the ultra red is just beautiful. Got the red brake calipers also, but with the PPF gone, the Plaid badge is also gone. We are going to keep it as a remembrance. Hopefully they don't ask for it back. But this is really one of my favorite colors. This and the Quicksilver is one of my favorite colors. Actually, the Model X doesn't come in Quicksilver. It's lunar, I think it's Lunar Moon or Lunar Silver, something like that. But yeah, am I gonna miss this car? A little bit, but I'm not gonna miss the issues that we've had. I'm not gonna miss, you know, thinking about how much we paid for it and just the disappointment that from our experience. I'm not gonna miss that. So is this a bad car? Short answer, no. But in my opinion, I think there's only two reasons why you should get this Model X. Otherwise, you're going to be very disappointed like I was. So the first reason why you should get it is the performance. The long range has what they call insane mode, and just like what the name says, it truly is insane. The speed on that thing, oof. The Plaid mode, however, doesn't have insane mode, but it has Plaid mode. So I already thought like insane mode was just way up there already. And Plaid, okay, it's slightly faster because it's tri-motor. No, Plaid mode goes above and beyond how insane mode is. This is really hard to explain. So if you're after performance, you're gonna get it in the Model X. The second thing is comfort. We love taking road trips on the Model X with the Model X, and it's really comfortable to be in, comfortable to drive. You could adjust the firmness and softness of the suspension. There's different settings from soft, sport, and custom. You could adjust the ride height. You have different levels. You have very low, low, I think it's medium, high, and very high. Now, it defaults to low after you drive at a certain speed. There's no way to change that. Those are the only two reasons why I would buy a Model X. Outside of that, you're gonna be very disappointed, in my opinion. So other things I wanted to note that I do like about it is safety. Thankfully, no accidents or crashes with the Model X. It is highly rated based on the test that they have done. We did have a minor fender bender, not with the X, but with Abby's previous Model Y 7-seater. It is wrapped also, but the wrap actually took most of the impact and damage. As far as safety is concerned, it is one of the most highly rated, safest car in the world. The ventilated front seats, first time I've experienced it was in our 2019 Honda Odyssey Elite, and I always look for it from that point forward. So I wanted to mention it because that is a big feature that I always look for when we get cars. Unfortunately, the Model Y doesn't have it, but soon they may. I don't know. The dual screen, I love the dual screen. I love having a screen right behind the steering wheel. The Model Y and the Model 3 don't have it. I wish they did. That's why in the Model Y I do have third-party accessories where I put a screen behind the steering wheel. Now, for efficiency during our road trips, we go to Las Vegas a lot, and I've taken the Model X and the Model Y. And if you compare between the two, the Model X actually is more efficient going on that particular trip. I wouldn't say it's efficient all the time, but for that type of trip where you have uphills and downhills, windy conditions and such, for this size of a vehicle, it's pretty impressive of how efficient it is for road trips. I wanted to mention charging performance. It does have a higher capacity battery at 100 kilowatt hour. I'm not gonna say that it has a better charging curve than the Rivian R1T. That one actually, I feel, has a better charging curve. It holds the faster charging speed at a higher state of charge and a little bit longer. But as far as charging speed, charging performance, it's fine. I mean, we have no issues with it. We've taken plenty of road trips with it. So I wanted to mention that. So the doors also soft close. I think it's a nice touch. I like that. And then the doors present itself and it closes when you press on the brake pedal. Those two features, I actually feel that I wish Cybertruck has it. The doors are very heavy on the Cybertruck, and maybe that's why they didn't include it. But it's one of those things that's kind of like, I wasn't asking for it, but now that I have it, it's a really nice feature to have. And finally, the car puts itself in park when you unbuckle your seatbelt. So what happens when you unbuckle your seatbelt? It shifts it into park and it goes into the entry mode where it adjusts your seat so you have room to get out of your car. So it does all that as soon as you unbuckle your seatbelt. So I thought that was pretty cool. Here are the things that I did not like. The many issues we've had. Both Model X's just was plagued with issues. Both Model X's had that clicking noise at low speed, turning the steering wheel. The car is quiet inside, so any noise gets amplified. Like those clicking noise, it was just really frustrating and annoying. They fixed it, it comes back. Man, it was very annoying. Both Model X's had their steering rack replaced within the first year. The steering rack was replaced, both of them. The previous Model X long range had issues with the Falcon door where it would not close, and this happens randomly. The worst part about random issues is I gotten to a point where I'm ready with my phone as soon as I park the car. And that is something, I've mentioned it in previous videos, like, can you imagine that? You've paid this much money for a car, it does random things, and now you're just waiting for it to happen again. You don't know when it's gonna happen, but be ready with your phone so you could record it. Yeah, that's not a good feeling to have. There are some quality issues in the interior with different trims and stuff. So we brought it in for service. They fixed it. It's fine. I don't know if it's a good thing that we've become conditioned to like, well, it's a Tesla. It's expected. Is that really a valid excuse? It shouldn't be, but many people use it, like myself. Where it's kind of like, yeah, the quality isn't all that great, but you know, these are other things I get out of it. But is that like a valid reason? I don't know. I don't like to think so, but I find myself using it. and joking about it, but it's just something to be expected. Tesla's quality is just, it really needs a lot of improvements. And for the price of the car, you kind of expect it to be a better quality. I mean, comparatively to the Model Y, Tesla's other SUV vehicle, I mean, I have less issues with the Model Y, and it's almost half the price of the Model X. I don't get it. So the space is one of the biggest things that I've recently shined a light to. Maybe because before I just felt trapped that the X is the only vehicle for us for what we're looking for. But now that I'm seeing other options, it's now like I'm seeing the issue with the space. Both Model X's are 6-seaters that we've gotten. The Plaid only comes in a 6-seat. There's usually 5 of us when we do road trips, so 6-seater is more than enough. But when we have to bring luggages, that is where the issue comes along. We have to fold one seat down every single time just to make enough room. And Abby sometimes will share her luggage with the boys, and I will carry my own, or we just share one luggage just so that we could fit everything that we want to bring. We bring a cooler, we bring backpacks. Sometimes we'll bring those 4-wheeler cargo things so that we can haul multiple items at the same time. Sometimes we'll bring beach chairs. It just depends on where we are traveling. We just find ourselves just like scratching our head like, man, this car is supposed to be big. This car is supposed to replace our minivan. And yeah, it doesn't do all that. And that's why in some of the videos, the road trip videos you see, I take the Rivian. I just throw everything in the bed. Man, sometimes my Model Y seems to fit more things. It's a head scratcher. So this car is great if you're only hauling people. Beyond hauling people, I mean, the second row seats don't fold because it's a 6-seater. So yeah, space is something I'm gonna say I don't like about this vehicle. Now, this is considered an SUV, where S is for sport, U is for utility, and V is vehicle, right? This has the missing U. It's missing the U. There is not much utility to this car. Sure, you could count that the Falcon doors have some utility to it. It is useful, especially if you have young kids and you need to bring them in and out of baby seats or car seats and all that. Sure, it's going to be helpful for that. If you park in tight places, you can still open the door because it goes up. It has sensors. It does all that. That one isn't really a big deal to me because I don't like to park next to other cars anyway. But if you are that type of person, then yeah, sure, the Falcon doors are somewhat of a utility. It's also an Achilles heel because many of the issues can come from these Falcon doors. So then the ride height, sure, it's kind of useful. You could adjust it, especially when you have rainy days and you go into streets where it's kind of flooded. You could raise the ride height and everything. So that's kind of cool. You can improve your efficiency by lowering your ride height as well. There is an included hitch. You don't have to pay extra for it. I think it's really a requirement to have a hitch for this car. So thankfully, you don't have to pay extra for it because that is an option you could use to add cargo space. You could attach a cargo box onto that hitch because you can't put crossbars on the ceiling to put cargo boxes up there for obvious reasons. You can't do that. So that hitch is really a requirement and it does come with it. Sure, that's a utility, but my biggest complaint about it not being a utility, this does not have a 110 watt outlet. And many of you are probably like, well, I don't need it. I mean, it does have a 12 volt cigarette lighter, but I think it's always handy to have that. Our previous minivans that are not electric had it. This is an electric car. You can't plug anything into it. So the other vehicles that are compared to the Model X have it. The R1S has it. Man, it's just, where's the utility? That's one of my biggest gripe on this car, like no plug. An honorable mention list that you could go either way, but I just wanted to mention it because you may be on one side of the camp or the other side. FSD. Now this one has hardware 4, so it's going to continue to receive updates on FSD if we chose to subscribe to it. But our previous Model X long range had hardware 3. We rarely use it, even in trials. I mean, we use it. I use it because I'm just curious to see what kind of improvements it has. But for the most part, don't use FSD. Now it has Tesla vision now. I kind of on the camp for ultrasonic sensors. I prefer the ultrasonic sensors better. But I actually would rather have what my Rivian has, which is the bird's eye view. I like that option better, especially for parking. This vehicle doesn't seem that big. It doesn't feel that big compared to the Cybertruck or the Rivian R1T. So it's not as necessary as we would need it for more of the trucks. But it does have Tesla vision. Whether you like it or not, I wanted to mention it. The rear screen, it does have a rear screen. The only Tesla that does not have a rear screen now is the current Model Y, and it may change at the upcoming Juniper version, so we'll see. But you can play games. You cannot play Steam games on it, but you can play YouTube games on it. You can watch media. Now, the funny thing about this is the support for Bluetooth headset came long after the Model X refresh came out, and it was very annoying when my kids decide to watch stuff in the back. They can't hear anything. So in order for them to hear something, everything has to route. All the speakers will be routed to the rear screen. So as we're driving, I'm hearing what they're watching, and it's just very annoying to me. Like, why did you not put headphones? I mean, you have the Bluetooth headphones now, but it took a very long time for them to implement that. Again, coming from minivans, like that is a very important feature. And finally, they have that. Now, it does have a way to control seats and stuff and control temperatures, stuff like that. So it's good so that you don't have to fiddle around with your controls for the people in the back. They could just take care of it themselves. I mean, the thing with it though is the location of it is fairly low. So for the most part, my kids just use their cell phone and their iPads to consume media and do all that. They only use it if they want to change the temperature in the rear cabin. But I end up doing it anyway because they don't want to do it. So I know there's more things to talk about this car, but I've already mentioned them in previous videos. So please go check all those out. I have playlists and everything like that for both the Plaid and the previous long range. But if you are after performance, if you don't need the extra seats, my suggestion is to get the Model S or the Model S Plaid. I think it is a better bang for the buck, if that's a thing with these cars. You'd probably enjoy the Model S more if you don't need the extra seats, because they'll perform very similarly. If not, the Model S would actually be faster. It is faster. There are many great prices on used Model S's. Plus, if you really are after the performance, there is an optional track package that you can add onto the Model S. So I think it's great for 5 people, regardless of the configuration, because I think that is the max that this car can do. If you're the type that go on road trips and you need to bring additional things, 5 people is the max. You're not going to get any more room unless you travel very lightly, but we are not that type. So that's my take on it. 5 people max. Would I buy it again? No, because I worry too much about the quality and the issues. I've had bad luck with this car. So looking at that, my answer would be no. There are more options now in the market. You have the Rivian R1S, you have the Kia EV9. If if you want to put it in that same category. You have the Lucid Gravity. I don't know too much about it, but that company needs to get a little bit bigger in terms of locations for their service center. But I think it would be a good competitor if you have a Lucid service center nearby. But yeah, there's just going to be more and more options that you could choose from for this type of vehicle, for the size, for the utility. I mean, I think you could do better outside of performance and comfort. Same question, different answer. Would I buy it again? Yes. But here's the thing. I would look at it as not upgrading our minivan to a Model X, but more of upgrading our Model Y to the Model X. And I would go with the 5-seater configuration for a couple of reasons. Number one, the 5-seater configuration, you could fold the seats down on the second row. 6-seater, you cannot fully fold down the second row. Also, I would gain the full size of the trunk in the back with the 5-seater configuration. Otherwise, ever since getting the Rivian R1T, experiencing having a truck, now having a Cybertruck, I think trucks are a better replacement for us as far as minivans are concerned. We used to think we needed something to accommodate like 7 people, 8 people like our minivans did, but it never happened too often. Not often enough for us to accommodate ourselves for just the mishaps of what this car cannot do, I guess. Does that make any sense? Like, I don't think it's worth it. We would rather just drive 2 cars or rent a larger gas car, or maybe if we could borrow a Rivian R1S for those times. But yeah, I would rather travel in a truck. So that's why I'm very grateful to finally experience owning a truck with the Rivian R1T, and that's why we ended up replacing the Model X with a Cybertruck. That I think a truck for us is a better solution. We don't need the speed. The Cybertruck offers a similar comfort, and it offers much more storage space, much more utility for our use case. So that's pretty much it. Saying goodbye to the Model X. Hopefully this video helps you all out for those who are on the fence. Hopefully it pushes you more towards buying the vehicle now that I've shared some experience for our own experience, or hopefully it pushes you in a different direction to where you would want to consider another vehicle. So that's pretty much it for this like goodbye video for the Model X. Am I sad to see it go? I was very sad on our first Model X, but this one, I guess it's because we found a good replacement with the Cybertruck, and we also have the R1T, that I'm not that sad. I am gonna miss being able to drive a Plaid. Yeah, I'm gonna miss that a little bit because the speed thing isn't really something I look at anymore. It's just I'm more of just a utility person now. Like, I just want the car to be very useful and not just be fast. I mean, the Cybertruck is fast enough. The R1T is a dual performance. I guess it's fast enough. My Model Y is not as fast, but it feels just as fast. So if you have any questions, do let me know. But that's just my honest ownership experience on 2 Model X's. I hope that helps you out. If you decide on purchasing a Tesla and need a referral link, please consider using mine. Or if you decide on purchasing a Rivian, also please consider using my referral link for purchasing a Rivian. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.